Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, man killed in drive-by shooting in his Clarendon. Detectives of the Criminal Investigations Branch are trying to establish a motive for Monday night's drive-by shooting in Cornpeace District, his Clarendon. Odari Lewin, otherwise called Jamie, a resident of Cornpeace, was fatally shot while several other residents escaped injury. Investigators reported that about 8 p.m., Mr. Lewin was among friends sitting along Jungle Road when a motor car with armed men opened fire on the group. Mr. Lewin was shot and later pronounced dead at hospital. The other individuals escaped injury. 3 firefighters suffer electric shock while battling house blaze. Illegal electric connections are being blamed for the injuries sustained by 3 members of the Jamaica Fire Brigade as they worked to extinguish the fire at the premises in Greenwich Town, Kingston 13, early Tuesday morning. The news understands that at approximately 2:17 a.m., firefighters received a call about a building on fire on 7th Street in the Greenwich Town community. According to Stuart Beckford, commissioner of the JFB, 2 units, one from Trenchtown and another from the Yorker Park Fire Station, responded. He shared that during their operations, 3 members of the JFB sustained injuries as they came in contact with live electrical wires strewn across the premises. The firefighters were taken to the hospital, where all 3 were admitted. Though their injuries are not considered life-threatening at this time, Beckford says at least one of his men is believed to be in a critical condition.
At approximately 2:17 a.m. we got a call of building on fire at number 8 7th Street, Greenwich Town. 2 units responded, one from Trenchtown, one from York Park. During firefighting operations, 3 of our firefighters came in contact with live electrical wires that were strewn about the building. 3 of them would have suffered injuries serious enough for them to be admitted to the hospital. I visited all 3 this morning. Their injuries are considered serious but not life-threatening, and we are hopeful that at least 2 of them may be discharged from the hospital soon. The situation has shone light on the whole matter of illegal connections and the danger that this poses to our firefighters, especially at nights. We could have lost these 3 firefighters. Thankfully, as I said, though they are injured, their injuries are not considered life-threatening. On my visit with them this morning, all 3 were in high spirit. The one who is more, who suffered the brunt of the electric shock. He's stable, he's speaking. They have slight burns on parts of their bodies. I don't want to get into too much detail in terms of the nature of their injuries because the doctors are still monitoring them. We are in close contact with the doctors at the hospital, and we are getting regular updates as to their conditions. But what we do know is that they will be in the hospital at least for the rest of this day into tomorrow, and there is the one that is more serious may be there for a few more days. We are monitoring him especially, given the severity of his injuries. All 3 were appropriately attired on the scene. They were wearing their helmets, their gloves, bunker gear, and of course they would have been wearing their fire boots. So they were well insulated, but nevertheless these things do happen. There are times when in conducting actual firefighting operation, you cannot pick up on these electric wires, especially at nights, and that is what I would have happened to all 3 this morning. The information I gathered from one of the firefighters is that the one who suffered the most severe of the injuries, he came in contact with the electric wires. The others tried to pull him away, and of course they would have also received electric shocks. So it's a really unfortunate situation, and it's not uncommon for firefighters to go to fires and receive electric shocks, but this is one of the most serious that we have seen in recent times, and I want to make a special plea to householders and Jamaicans generally. When you do these things, not only does it pose a threat to your property, because in this particular case we suspect that the cause of the fire, we have not confirmed that yet, investigations are ongoing, could have been due to an electrical short circuit, and of course, you know, it poses a danger to our firefighters as well, because we could have lost easily 3 firefighters this morning. Thankfully they survived their injuries, and based on the assessment of the doctors, they all should make a full recovery.
Prime suspect in murder of St. Ann cop killed in police operation. The news has been informed that the prime suspect, who was sought in connection with a Monday night's fatal shooting of a policeman in St. Ann, was killed on Tuesday afternoon during a police operation in Steertown in the parish. The suspect was fatally shot in a special police operation sometime after 3 p.m. The cops are still searching for a second suspect. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake on Tuesday condemned the murder of Constable Ricardo Fairclough and promised that those involved would be brought to justice.
He was shot and killed by a coward who has no contribution to make to society. While we cannot bring back Constable Fairclough, we owe it to his family, friends, and colleagues to ensure that our response is swift and strong. Let our response send a clear message to those who may want to contemplate violence against us that it is not wise.
Meanwhile, head of the Kingdom Lighthouse Apostolic Ministries International in St. Ann, Pastor Paul Norman, said that the church has been devastated by the loss of Constable Fairclough, who was a senior member of the church. Pastor Norman said Constable Fairclough played a major role in the ministry, and he had spoken to him shortly before he was killed.
A policeman in Mandeville had an accident while on duty, and he called me. I met him quite a few years ago. He said, "Pastor, I'm in the hospital and I can't walk." I said, "Hold on, there's someone that I always ask to join me in prayer." And I called Officer Ricardo, who is our deacon. I said, "Can you pray with someone with me on the line? No, I want you to come in agreement with me." He said, "Give me 10 minutes." He said, "Give me 10 minutes." And that 10 minutes never came.
Major ammunition find in St. Elizabeth. The St. Elizabeth police say they have seized more than 70 12-gauge cartridges following a successful operation in Potsdam district in the parish. Information reaching the news is that on Monday, officers in the parish conducted an operation at an unoccupied premises in the Potsdam community where a bag containing 76 12-gauge cartridges was found. No one was arrested in connection with the find. This comes on the heels of 3 illegal firearms recovered since Friday and the arrest of 4 persons. Man fined $70,000 for slashing tires of driver who failed to pay him over cash. A man was fined $70,000 or 30 months imprisonment in the St. Catherine Parish Court today for slashing the tires of a man who reneged on an agreement to pay him following an accident. Michael Mitchell, who pleaded guilty to malicious destruction of property, expressed the frustration with the lack of action by the complainant to honor his promise to pay him for hitting his vehicle in October 2023. Him let me care and him agree to pay me. Him keep telling me later, tomorrow and so forth. So me see him and cut the tire them, declared Mitchell. Senior Parish Court Judge Yvette Wentworth Miller told Mitchell that he should have sued the complainant instead of damaging his car tires. The court heard that about 7 p.m. on March 3, the complainant was seated in his car along Augusta Drive in Portmore, St. Catherine, when Mitchell came up, opened his car door, grabbed him, and then used a screwdriver to puncture the vehicle's front tires. Mitchell then returned to his vehicle and drove away. The matter was reported to the police, which resulted in him being arrested and charged.